whatever you are, but we love meat, we're going to eat meat, that's not going to change. I get what you mean.
What would you do?
And then, okay. It then comes to the, like...
Does it make it right?
Well, it depends who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Okay.
A sheep, a cow, animals that we enslave really and eat, you know what I mean? The animals that we... So basically, there's a big macho image, like a masculine stigma around eating meat and stuff.
Yep.
And my argument is, if we're going to do it, we should pick on people our own size, you know what I mean? Pick on animals our own size.
Go.
Yeah, man, kill a lion or something if you're going to, you know... Don't just bully the defenceless. That's the opinion. What do you think about that?
That's what I thought your argument meant.
Yes,
I was also thinking of a lion, but then even with lions, they trap them in an enclosure to make the job easier to hunt them. They don't really do it the proper way.
Coward's way out, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't support abusing the animals. Like, I love meat. I'm not saying.
Yeah, a lot of people do, man. Yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't kill animals. Like, I think they are also, as sad as it is, they are bred to be eaten. You know, like we have cows. They are so as that.
That's funny though, man, because a lot of meat eaters who I speak to, like especially the last 6 months, they predict a vegan future, man. They say like it is horrific what goes on. This isn't vegans. This is friends, you know, family. They admit it, kind of thing. Do you not think that eventually we'll get to that point where we're like, this is grim, man. Like we're not going to do that anymore?
I don't think it's going to be the case of this is grim. I think it's going to be the case of the vegan food will get so good that people will not be able to distinguish this is meat, this is not real meat. And at that point, why not? Why not switch? If you get the same nutrients, it tastes the same, or very comparatively the same.
Yeah. So you would switch if it came to the, you know, if lab-grown meat became so widespread and affordable and just like the real thing and gave you the nutrients, would you be happy to try it? And eat it? Yeah.
I've tried like a vegan burger. I'm not a fan of them right now. I think the real meat is still gonna win for quite a while.
Yeah.
But if there is a replacement which is equally as good, even if it's a little bit more expensive, why not? Like.
So you're saying if mock meat's got to 10 out of 10 and they tasted like a 10 out of 10 steak, you would switch?
I'd be happy to, yeah.
What taste value would you switch now? So if I gave you a burger that was like 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, but you were like, nah, I can just have a steak that's 10 out of 10, would you stick with the steak?
I'd still go for 10 out of 10, yeah.
What if it was 7 out of 10?
No, I think it has to be like 8 out of 10 or above, and like, it also depends what it is, you know. Like, you have to have the consistency right. Like, if you're having a steak, is it going to be like a steak consistency, or is it going to be like a cardboard?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, so let's say you've got if I had a cow and I had a burger here that was 7 out of 10, you would happily watch me kill the cow if we could cook it fast. Let's just pretend that we can speed up. So
of course,
you would let, for the sake of 1 out of 10, would you?
I get what you mean.
What would you do?
Then, okay. It then comes to the like. I am happy to eat meat, and this might be I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
But I would not kill the animal if I was living in the woods and I was performing that kind of lifestyle where I hunt to live. I think then it becomes something else.
Of course, of course.
I think if you live in like Alaska and you have to kill a deer to survive during the winter, I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do. And then I would grow up in that environment, so that it's also a normal thing for me to do, and therefore it would be okay to do so. Right now, I've grown up in the city. I'm not a farm person. I'm not a person that would, you know, like lived up in a place where we would kill animals. So personally, I wouldn't be like, okay, slay this sheep for me or this cow because I want a burger from it. In that case, I'd probably be like, okay, you know what, if it's just a little bit of a difference, I'll still eat it. I'm hungry, and I'll take the vegan burger. But I think it's easier, as long as you don't see it, I think it's easier to just go for the meat option right now.
What if you could see it? What if you could?
I think it would change a lot of people's opinions then.
I agree, man, I agree. If you actually saw the chopping of the animal and the screams of the animal, the sometimes tears of the animal.
Yeah, I get where your point is.
Do you think that if, like you've already said, you know, if you actually had to see it, I mean, I think everyone's got a soul. And I mean, look at the.
No, I mean, obviously, when you look at this is sad. Like, I love animals, I love dogs, like especially. So I understand what your point is, and.
Would you say you agree with what the vegan message is? It's to stop the commodification of all animals, so stop using them, stop wearing them, stop eating them, just leave them alone, kind of thing. Right. Especially when we've got 7 out of 10 substitutes. You know what I mean?
I mean, sort of. I think the way the society has been built, there are animals that are the way they are because we breed them to eat them. Like,
does it make it right?
Well, it depends who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Okay. It doesn't make it right.
Because you've got a heart and a brain, that's why.
Yeah.
And I understand that we've been brought up with this and it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I used to eat a lot of meat, man. I was probably one of the worst people ever for eating meat. And I can't blame someone for not having the same opinion as me now, you know what I mean? Because I've changed, you know what I mean? I've changed for 5 or 6 years now. Yeah. So I'm not saying you're an idiot, or I'm not saying you're a dickhead for doing it, but there comes a point where you've got to look at it and go, I don't agree with that, man, and I can't fund it. And I know you don't agree with it because you've just said, and I've got an idea of what you're like. So it's just a case of aligning your morals, isn't it? It's like you're not violent, you're not evil. But what we fund, what I used to fund, what you fund now, is evil, man. You can see it. I've got hours of footage, man, and when I show people this, they can't really argue with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is savages, there is some nasty people around who go, oh, fuck it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as from your point of view, the way you've been brought up, and you know, everyone can be violent, but we're not just violent for no reason. I mean, we don't just go around, you know, killing pets and treading on hamsters and, you know, punching horses. You know what I mean? So I think that you're very much aligned to the vegan message, as is everyone, because most people I speak to are. You know what I mean?
Okay. So there's also the thing that I'd like to add is that since the caveman times, we have been hunters. We've been killing animals to eat meat.
In certain generations, yeah.
I mean, all generations, we always used to hunt. It always was...
It's debatable. There has been...
When we will learn how to farm, sure, then maybe farming became a little bit more popular. But by default, we are carnivores. I mean, if you look
Omnivores.
Omnivores, sorry.
We can digest meat, yeah. We're not designed to, yeah.
But, I mean, there's certain, like, biological things. Let's say, okay, the thing... Nowadays, some people have wonky teeth. The reason for that is because of farming. When we used to eat meat, we needed to have a wider jaw. And as the times changed and we have become, you know, eating more vegetables because of the house farm, our teeth now have less space, so they'll become wonky. So there are certain things that we have evolved by eating meat that, are changing us today. And like, same with like the protein intake, right? You might have say, okay, you can eat broccoli and have the same amount of protein as the meat. Okay, but it's not absorbed as efficiently as the protein from a meat. Like,
well, they say that, and it could be true. Like, you know, they reckon it's about 80% to meat being 100% in terms of absorption and stuff like that. But my point is, if I've got plenty protein and I get enough protein, and I know people that are 3 times the size of me and you, it's obviously not a problem. It's not like you need that extra 20%. It's not like it gives you anything more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Depends. Okay, but then you also go to the extremes. I know we're now talking about the extremes, but the extremes, 1% more it could be a lot. It could be a game changer for them. But I know that they represent a small.
I don't know, man. Because I know vegan bodybuilders, man, and they don't look like they're lacking anything. It's not like that if they would have eaten meat, they would have been, you know, an extra 2 kg heavier over the space of 10 years. It's not like that. They're big people, man. It's like, you know, imagine your genetics doesn't allow you to get a certain size, and my genetics allow me to get 2% bigger. Yeah. That little difference doesn't justify killing and, you know, raping animals and stuff.
I'm not saying it does justify.
I know what you mean. It can be beneficial, but lots of things can be beneficial. You know, it's beneficial for me to, I don't know, go and rob that bank over there, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean it's right, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean... Going back onto the teeth thing, though, you're saying that we've got weaker because we've been eating plant matter more.
Well, not weaker, but it's just that our jaws change. Like,
is it a problem, though? Are you good?
I'm good. I had braces, but some people...
I should have done.
Yeah, I had braces, but my teeth are wonky. Well, you know, it's aesthetical then, but... it's an aesthetic, but it's just an example of how we changed because of the farming, and how it wasn't a problem before.
It's not a problem now though, man, because like you've had a brace.
Yeah.
Your jaw's fine. My jaw's fine. Some people have got big jaws. Some people have got small jaws. It's not a problem. It's not like it's not like your teeth are falling out. You know what I mean? I've read things about we need strength from the jaw, but
course,
if I haven't eaten meat for 6 years, obviously, surely my jaw would be weak. But I can bite through things. I can crack through nuts.
Oh no, definitely. I think it's gonna take more than just like one generation to get your jaw weak. I think it's more of a.
I don't know. What about the Hindus? What about the Hindus who haven't eaten meat for like centuries? They've got a big vegetarian population, so they have dairy, but they don't have meat. You don't see any Hindus walking around with like weak jaws, you know what I mean, or anything like that.
I don't think it's the weak. I think it's more of it's got less space, so it creates the wonky teeth. I don't think that they still have to chew through whatever they eat. So I don't think it's the weakness. I don't think weakness is going to be a problem.
When people choke and they call the ambulance, the most common reason is for choking on meat. So I could say, by now we should be able to be like a lion. We should be able to swallow it in one. You know what I mean? And also, if you look at our makeup, you got the intestines, you got the teeth, you got our hands that are not claws. We are more suited to plants. You know what I mean? That's factual. You know what I mean? So I can't see if you came over with big claws and you had big long fangs, and then I could probably see the argument by saying we are designed to eat meat. But I don't know, man. I know a lot of vegans, and they're looking good. The jaws are fine, the teeth are fine. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, of course. I'm not saying veganism, but I don't think it is bad. I think it's
Would you rather?
It's good, good for you, good for you. If you.
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah. I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think it's a bit more difficult to have a diet without meat. It takes a little bit of education.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. It's not a problem,
I'm not saying it's a problem, but some people, let's say, they're a little bit underprivileged or they're undereducated. It might become a problem for them then.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know, you can't. Not everyone is on the same level of either intelligence or the privileges to have the money to. Vegan stuff tend to be more expensive than the meat. Even though the meat is nowadays
only the fake meats. You ain't got to eat mock meats all the time. I spoke to a bloke just 10 minutes ago, and I said, look, in the week, I just eat whole foods, which is cheap. Yeah. I eat lentils, chickpeas, beans, tofu, curries. I have all kinds of whole foods, and then on the weekend I might have a burger that's costs £2.50. But I'm not going to eat that burger every day and rack up a big shopping bill. Do you know what I mean? So in the week you can eat cheap and healthy.
Yeah, of course.
In the weekend,
but there's a way.
Of course, man. And I'm not the richest person in the world. I don't ever think, I can't buy that. I can't buy that pack of lentils. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But mate, going back onto the evil side of it. Yeah. You've already said that if you wouldn't watch me kill a cow for that burger. Yeah. Do you think it's consistent? Because for me, if I think like that, I've just switched straight away. Yeah. I can't see this horrific footage that I've just showed you and be like, right, next time I buy a burger, it doesn't go away for me. It's still there. It's like, well, if I wouldn't do it to a dog or a cat or a camel or a human, why would I do it to a cow and a pig and a sheep?
I
think you've got to be consistent as an adult anyway.
I guess what you're saying, there's a hypocrisy in it, isn't it?
Big time, man. Yeah, big time.
I think the way it's been done today on a mass scale, it's very inhumane, definitely. And then,
do you think if you were a pig and you were getting killed in a pig city in China where they house 60,000 pigs or 600,000 pigs, or if you were in a small-time farm where you had to lie on a concrete floor covered in your own feces, and then someone came up to you and stunned you, you were 90% stunned, and then they slit your throat. Yeah. Do you think you would be any happier in the smaller farm than the big pig city? Because for the victim, it's the same outcome.
It's the same outcome.
It's torture. It's killing. So to say that it's the mass scale problem is the problem and not the smaller farms. For the victim, it's...
I understand the outcome is the same, but is the method of killing the same? Is it whatever's the easiest for the animal then? I don't know how they kill those animals.
There's different ways, man.
I know they electrocute them or they slit the throats. I heard that slitting the throat is the least painful way.
It's all terrible, man.
It is, of course it is.
I love it when people say that, because then I say, well...
It's not a perfect world, though.
It can be more perfect.
Of course.
It can be more perfect if you looked at this and said, I'm not going to fund that anymore, because it just doesn't align with who we are. If there was someone over there now and, he was dragging his dog around and he was stealing and ended up getting arrested and he was a scumbag. These are the people I can understand who are like, yeah, fuck it, I'll kill an animal. But 98% in my view of people are good people. And it doesn't align, man. It doesn't align, man.
No,
it's and we've got a little dog, man, and people come up in the pub and they roll around on the floor with a little dog and stroke it and stuff, and then they'll have a bacon sandwich. These pigs are lowered into a gas chamber. They suffocate to death and burn from the inside out. And it's like, what's going on there? It's so different. It's like one end of the scale to the other. I can understand if everyone was savages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like people are playing with dogs and cats and then just going, yeah, bacon sandwich, fuck it. It's just balmy, man. Did you know that about pigs? They're lowered into gas chambers.
No.
Yeah. They're there's a documentary called Pignorant, Amazon Prime. Watch it, man. You've probably heard of Joey Carbstrong. He created it, man. It's horrible, man. And I think when you start to look at these things now, because the internet's blowing it apart now, people are seeing it.
Yeah.
And you've already said you don't want to see it because I showed you earlier. So I think as you start to go through life, and you start to see these things, I do think that it gets in there. People have changed their opinion to me massively the last few years. They've said, like, I can't argue with it.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't argue with it, my point is, well, we shouldn't be fucking funding it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that problem's been here for a long time, but now it's just getting more publicized, so people are more aware because of social media.
Definitely.
So I think definitely will influence people to think about changing the decision of eating meat. Like, I presume that you are pro non-eating meat. You support veganism.
Yeah.
So it's good news for you, and it definitely will improve over time.
Yeah.
Because people
so you've gone from it'll never change to you think it will now.
No,
so that's good.
Change.
That's good. Yeah. Because at the start, I know that you said that it won't change, but I think that now you've realised and you've probably thought about it a bit more. That but now, mate, good to talk to you, man.